How you guys doing? I hope you all are doing fine. Welcome back to another video. Thank you so much for clicking. And if you're new here, my name is Aladi Akoh and you're highly welcome to my channel. Today with me, we have a special guest in our midst. Yes. Our interview series, I don't want to say it's back again, but maybe something like that. Our special guest today is Anselm. He's here to share his experience with us. So far so good, you know, all the background story and all that stuff. So this is like insider gist, okay? So without wasting much of your time, let's give the mic to the guest. Hello.
Hi Aladi. Hi guys. My name is Anselm Maju. Before I say anything, I just want to thank you, Aladi, for having me here and for everything you've been doing for the African community. So I really appreciate your efforts. If you remember, like I told you before, I went to an African program in my school and we were just talking, one thing led to another, and someone talked about coming to America through Aladi's channel, and everybody was like, Aladi too. I was like, wow.
Wow. Making me feel like
Aladi's really, you are not a big influencer in bringing Africans here. A lot of people who haven't contacted you yet used your video. I personally watched every single one of your videos. So Thank you for what you've been doing for the community. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
So
thank you.
My story is a very long one, and I think is one your viewers need to hear, or the viewers need to hear, because of it's very inspirational. So a lot of people don't think they can come here, but after hearing this, I think they would be convinced they can do it. So I'm going to just talk about my application part. Maybe if they want to hear, maybe later they can talk about my arrival part and travel part here. So where do I start?
Start anywhere. Like, express yourself.
Okay. I'm just gonna make it in form of a story.
Yeah.
So it was a hard journey. I'm not gonna lie. It's really, really hard journey, but very, very possible. Anybody can do it. I was just browsing the internet in my 300 level in Nigeria then, in YouTube, and I saw a particular video on coming to America through masters, and I was very certain that day I'm going to do my masters. I was still in 300 level then, but I was starting, I'm going to do my masters. My head just went off. So I was starting, I'm going to do my masters. So I started researching and I came across your channel. I started applying. Then I called my dad. I told him I want to do my masters. And he was like, I want to do my masters in America. So that was where my struggle started, because he did not want to hear anything about that till I graduated. But I don't want to go there into details about that. So I started reading all the requirements, GRE, TOEFL, every single thing that is needed to apply. I started preparing myself for the exams, making sure my GPA reached and everything like that. So I did all those, watching your videos, watching all the videos of those people you introduced to your channel too, Adeleke and Uju. So I watched those videos. I kept on practicing for exams and stuff. But at the end of the day, I never had to write GRE, neither did I write TOEFL, because I applied in COVID year, and that particular year, most schools waived GRE for applicants. But still, they did not waive TOEFL or exam proficiency, English proficiency exam, sorry. So they did not waive TOEFL. But I knew that for a Nigerian, some schools waive TOEFL for Nigerians because we are born speaking, or we grew up speaking English. No, we are born, sorry. We grew up speaking English.
Oh, John, it's fine.
Yeah. So I had to message schools personally to ask them, tell them my situation. Yeah, I was born in Nigeria. I grew up. I attended my school in English. Can I apply? And some of them consented to, yes, you can apply. Some said no. Anyone that said no, I just dumped their name. Forget about application. I don't have time.
Bye.
So because my dad wasn't going to support me with application fee or sponsoring my passport or paying for GRE exam or all those exams. All he wanted was me to finish and serve, because nobody in my family had traveled out, so it was almost like an impossible situation at that point. which is what it is for many people who are going to be watching this video. So some people might think that, okay, what do I say? Why do I think I can go to America? From where? Do I have anybody? I don't have money for agents. You can do all by yourself. I did not pay any agent or anything. So I shortlisted schools I wanted. I wanted to study robotics. I knew what I wanted. So I said, okay, I'm going for robotics masters and I want America. Most people were telling me it's easier to enter countries like Australia or all these things, but I wanted the USA. UK wasn't going to be enough for me. I started making my applications, broke. And you know how it is to apply without money. It's like really, really hard. So I did not apply with application fee. I tried applying with application fee. I asked for money from my brother and some people, and they gave me for application fee. But that was at the point CBN banned sending money outside Nigeria. So anything that has to do with a Nigerian debit card, even till now, I'm still facing that struggle now. So I send money to Nigeria constantly, but sending back is either only through crypto or any other platform has to work on the black market rate. So at that point, I couldn't pay my application fee using my card. It was banned for Nigerians. Even my visa fee, I couldn't pay using the card. I had to contact somebody here. So I spoke to the school telling them I've been trying to apply. They did not, and then I did not know the problem was Nigeria. They kept on telling me I'm using a credit card or debit card. I don't even know what is credit card at that point. I told them I'm using my debit card, all those kind of stuff. So I could not get it. I did not do it. I thought I've lost all hope. I kept on thinking I've lost hope throughout the whole application process. I thought I lost hope through every point. So they called me and told me, okay, there's a particular open space. Within the space of these 24 hours, every application is free. Every school have that date. I later figured that out because I applied to 4 schools and all these 4 schools contacted me on different occasions during late application hour. Okay, this particular window is free for application. Any application submitted on this window will be free. I saw another email again, another different day from another school and things like that. And at the end of the day, I applied to all my schools for free. That is it.
So you have to look out for those days, right? The school will contact you, or was there at any time that you contacted them and say, when is that window open, or they just reached out?
No, that's the point. If you have the money, apply. If you have money, pay. Sorry, if you have the money, pay for application fee. If you have the money, I had the money for one school though. I had the money for one school, but it wasn't working. So I contacted the school, telling them it wasn't working. If they can waive it for me personally, like request everything you need, every problem you need, request, email. Yeah, so that was it. I started making my applications, broke. So I was looking for, since they already waived GRE for all schools, I was happy. Every school I applied to did not request for GRE, and I made sure every school on my list said, okay, they allowed me not to write TOEFL. Yeah, so any school that said I should write TOEFL, I just leave them out of my list. I did all those things. I wrote the exams. I got admission into Northeastern University, Boston, Massachusetts here. So I got admission. I was happy, like, wow. I was still in my finals when I got my admission. So I did not serve coming here. I don't want to go into details on the transcript and stuff, but I did it and I'm here. So I went home. I went back from school. I was studying in Anambra. Then I went and we live in Lagos. I went back to Lagos trying to process my visa. I used my own money and make passports then. So it was kind of hard because everybody already had visa slots interview. This was around April. I'm supposed to resume by September. So everybody already had visa slots. And I don't have my I-20. I don't have nothing yet. All my mates were already talking about, okay, in a month's time, I'll be going for interview, or in 2 months, I'll be going for interview. April, I had nothing. And I did not have funding. Yeah, that is it. I did not have funding. Northeastern hardly gives funding, and that was the only admission I got. And I could not apply to many schools. I applied to only like 4 schools. Yeah, so, and that was the only admission I got. So that was my only chance. I requested for funding from every professor I could request from. They said, no, I have to be in school first before I can get funding. So I have to show proof of funds for that first year. I did what I could do. Coming to Lagos, I looked for a loan, education loan, and I got one. Time was going. My dad was kind of thinking like I was getting scammed. Like someone is telling you have admission, someone is telling you have to pay money to apply for a loan, someone is telling you all this kind of thing that they are using you. He did not understand at the point till I got my loan approved. Then I told him I have to go and start applying for visa. He was like, this guy is too stubborn. Like, what's wrong with this guy? Wait, go and serve. Your mates are serving this one, that kind of stuff. Your lecturers told me you are like best graduate students in your school. Don't you want to take lecturing job in your school? Things like that. I said, no, I'm going out for my master's, that kind of stuff. He was telling me I should go and serve. So at the end of the day, he just quit. Was like, okay, let's just waste the money on the visa. Probably that's what he was thinking while he gave me. Just, okay, let's just apply for the visa. So he gave me money for visa application. I applied for my visa. Before I got my visa application, before I got my I-20, most of my mates were already in the US. When I was getting my I-20, most of my mates were in the US. Everything was hard. They were already in the US. I was looking, how am I going to do this thing? Everybody was telling me, guy, just apply for spring. Look for UK. Just apply. I know agree. Like it was, I'm not going to lie. Any normal human being would have listened to the advice of going for spring because everything looked impossible at that point. Imagine you've not had your I-20 and your mates are already in the US. Imagine how tense you'll be at that point. I kept on pursuing everything. And I got my I-20. I got my I-20 very late. My school resumed, I remember, September 8th. Then I had not gotten visa slots. And that was around August already. I had not gotten visa slots. This is August. After August is September. First week of August passed. I had not gotten visa. God. I started looking for emergency application, how to do emergency application, all these things. And one thing about me, if I put my mind to something, I search every single information there is about that stuff on YouTube, everything I can read about that. So I made sure there was no video I had not watched on emergency emergency, whatever they call it, forgotten the name. So
emergency appointment.
EA, emergency appointment. Thank you. So I applied for my emergency appointment and I prayed because I saw a lot of people who applied for weeks and have not seen any response. So I was thinking, like, what would I do to make my own application for emergency appointment special? I looked for some videos. I saw that one thing about the US is that they respect citizens' opinion. You understand? You might be a Nigerian looking for visa to enter US. The very moment you have a US person put in word for you, you have a higher chance of getting it. So things like visa support letter from your school would help to get emergency appointment very fast. That is why things like that. So I had to ask for visa, visa support letter from my school, and they gave me an easy to apply to. So that was it. And I got my a date the next day. Like people applied and waited for weeks. And I was also reading from what's the name of this platform? Nigeria. There's one platform that you read. Nairaland, yeah. I was reading people's transcripts on Nairaland, seeing how people have applied for weeks and did not get any slots. I applied mine and I got mine the next day. I was like, wow, thank God. And this was already second week of August, around almost 18, 19, 20. I'm supposed to resume September 8th. This was 20-something, yeah. So I got emergency appointment. I ran to the website straight up. After seeing the email, I chose the next available date, which was September 7th for interview. My school is resuming September 8th. That was going to be real bad. That was going to be my first basis for getting rejection in the visa, but I did not still agree. Like that was real happiness. When I was saying, you got it, you got a slot. I said, yeah, I did everything. Then I went to Nairaland, checked every single thing I need to know about interview. And I did not prepare with anybody. I did not apply with anybody. I did not know anybody I could apply with then. But I knew my situation was genuine, and I knew that I'm not. And I knew I have to put in confidence, which I am naturally. So I had to appear there very, very confidently. So I prepared every single question in my mind, what I think they will ask me. I prepared everything in my mind, did everything. I was very sure there's no single question they will provide me I won't answer. I did not go there cramming answers. You understand? I did not go there cramming answers, but I have all the idea. I'm just going to go there to say the truth because I applied everything by myself. I did not use any agent. So it's going to be very easy for me. The day reached, I went to Lagos. That was Lagos. And the usual hustlers there. Everybody came and all this kind of stuff. Let's not talk about the hustlers in the embassy there. So I went into the embassy or did not necessarily check. Me will be busybody. I went everywhere, checking out every country embassy that was in that place in Lagos. I left my interview, checking out Spain, Germany, all these things, still thinking in my head. I went thinking about this thing that's bringing many nostalgic memory, and it's very, very interesting. I was very happy then in Lagos. Saw the embassies, came back. Then I came inside. The whole room was tense. Like, no matter how confident you are, entering into that embassy room, God, you're going to get tense. Everybody's just like quiet, rehearsing, thinking, doing that. You'll be hearing people murmuring and saying, oh, calm down. So like the whole place was tense. Everything they searched, I did everything. I got in there. I was trying to not get tense. Like I'm usually everywhere. I was trying to just be doing my stuff, I was doing my stuff, they checked everything, then I entered the line for the interview. And the thing about the Lagos part is that you hear every interview. If you listen where you hear who gets rejected, you see everything. It's not like you go into a room and they close. It's just like standing, yeah.
It's open.
So I saw a lot of rejection that day. If 100 people came that day, 70 people were rejected, yeah. So they kept on rejecting and rejecting and rejecting. That was enough to bring the most confident person tensed. So I was still not going to get tensed till I was the second in line. Somebody's in my front, and that was when my heart started beating. I was like, geez, I've been like freelancing coming here, and my heart started beating. I said, no, I'm not going to go there. If you go there, is the thing about the interview. If you go there not prepared, you're not going to get it. If you go there tensed, you have a reduced chance of getting it. So you want to go there confident. So I was in the line. My heart started beating fast. Everything started beating fast. I was like, God. I said, no. I started practicing Japanese breathing. So it is my turn in my front. What the woman called next, I went to meet one woman. She was a black woman, black American. Then she said, oh, student visa. I'm not gonna be interviewing students today. Go back to the line. So okay, next person should come after me. That got me more tense, but I cleared it again with breathing exercise. So then a man called me. Then the next man called me, a white man. I went to meet him. He said, hi, how you doing? I said, I'm fine. Trying not to answer any question as fast as possible, or trying to think before I answer any question. How you doing? I'm cool. Trying to have the stage to myself. So he said, can you give me your documents, passport and everything? I gave it to him. He looked at my documents, and my mind was just praying inside my mind, God, let him not see that school resumption date. Let him not see that school resumption date. But it looked like that was the first thing he saw. Immediately he saw that thing, he left his counter, went inside to meet another visa interviewer. Yeah. So I don't usually, through reading transcripts in Maryland, once you see a visa officer goes to talk to another visa officer about your case, you are most probably going to lose it. So I've been seeing transcripts like that. I was like, Jesus, I never talk anything I don't lose. Why? So the man went, he spoke to somebody, then came back. Then the first thing he told me, your school is resuming tomorrow. How do you plan on getting there if you get the visa today? I was like, I already have, because I applied for late resumption from my school. But the bad thing was my school sent that email that morning. I had my interview on a Monday, I think. Morning, I think, yeah. And the other day was Sunday. So they couldn't send emails then. And I applied to this thing like on Thursday or Friday. I applied for late resumption. So I know I don't have the late resumption form if you ask for it. But it's going to probably be in my email box, which is in my phone, unprinted, and my phone is not inside the interview hall because they don't come in there with phones. I was just gonna tell him, oh, I just told him I have late arrival. I have, this thing from my school. And he said, oh, he did not request to see it. I said, wow, thank God. Then the next thing he asked me, where did you school? I said, Anambra State University. He was like, Anambra, wow. Where did you school? I said, Anambra State University. Where is it? I said, Anambra. Where in Anambra? I was like, why is this man interested in knowing where I studied in Anambra? No, be your Igbo man, you are supposed to be in Lagos. Only Lagos are supposed to know. It was like, where? I told him, okay, Uli. He's like, oh, wow. I've been to Anambra. I said, wow. Me, one thing about interviews and me is that I take every chance to get into personal conversation with the person and still make it look professional. You understand? So it's going to make it hard for the person to deny you if you connect with the person on the personal level. So I tried to connect with him on the personal level. It was like, I've been to Anambra. Wow. I said, wow, that he loves the Igbos. I said, oh, wow. So he's been to Enugu, Ebonyi. I said, yeah. Believe it or not, I've been to 9 states. Me, I left the interview part. I started asking him about states. Wow, what took you there? I left my interview and said, God did it for me. What took you there? How did he say? Yeah, well, yeah. So I don't know. They say, okay, yeah, back to this. So I see. What does that do for a living? I told him. So, what do you plan to use this education for? I told him my present. The thing they want to hear most especially was what you have established here in Nigeria that you want to advance on. So I told him my works, what I've been doing, designing, because I'm going for robotics, and I've been building mini robots, drones and stuff in Nigeria. So I told him what I've been doing, and he said, wow, that's really smart. So if you go there, you're going to do it. I said, yeah. So say nice. So next thing he asked me was, I see you have a loan of $1,000. How do you plan on repaying? I was about to tell him, I plan on doing it. He said, you know what? You already got your visa. Thank you. He took my passport, kept. I was like, wow. I did not show I promised myself not to show my happiness in the front of him. Because everybody, or people just get angry when they get rejected. I just said, wow, thank you very much. Took my tears, went towards the bathroom, then closed the door and went, where? Inside the bathroom was where I had to make my jubilation. After that, I went outside, called my dad and told him I got it, and he was like, wow, really shocked. So he was the one that was doubting me getting it, and later he called friends. I was like, wow, he got it, celebrating with friends. I said, is it not this same man that was like, I should do my NYSC first? He called people that all this kind of stuff. They did send for me before I left. And all this. After some days, they called me to come and pick my passport. And that is it. That's how I got my visa. And I left Nigeria.
Sorry, I'm not sure I picked it up, but what year did you finally apply for your visa? Was it 2020 or 2021?
2021, yeah.
Okay, that August was 2021, right?
Yeah.
And the application for late resumption, how did you know about it? Was it your school that told you? How did you know that there was something like that?
My school kept on emailing when school is resuming, when we're supposed to, the timeline and every other stuff. And so my personal advisor contacted me, and I was like, he sees I've not done, I'm still behind in a lot of things that I can choose to apply for late resumption if I want to. I was like, yeah, definitely, I wanted to do that. I also saw videos on YouTube from people saying if you have not gotten your visa, your school is resuming on a particular date, and you're sure you're not going to meet up before that date, you can contact your school via email or via any other platform you want to use and apply for late resumption. So that's what I did.
Okay.
And I never used it.
Okay. So I guess if you're watching and you're in similar situation, maybe you're out of time, you can contact your school for that. So thanks.
Yeah.
And what else do I have here? I wanted to ask you why robotics. I know, I'm kind of curious, why did you apply for robotics? What was your undergrad in? Yeah, that's the question.
My undergrad, I was going to say that too. I did my undergrad in industrial physics. So I did my undergrad in industrial physics. Then I wanted to do an engineering course. So why I chose robotics came.
No pressure. No pressure.
No, I'm just trying to build the statement.
Okay.
I always knew I was technical. Like, I wouldn't be a good doctor. I'm like everywhere, not calm-headed, but I was technical, yeah. So I like building things, I like constructing things.
Mm-hmm.
So after high school, everybody was applying for medicine. I went to apply for medicine. So thank God I never got it. So I'm just thanking God I never got to go into medicine. But my aunties and my uncle that knew how I was advising me to go for engineering, mechanical or electrical. So I was like, I like it mechanical, I like it electrical. So I wanted something that had both of them. So I just chose physics then because it had the principle of mechanics and electricity. So now, after undergraduate, I did my internship, my IT in an electrical engineering firm, and I learned how to build circuits and smart thinking circuits. All this, I don't want to start going into details with speaking jargons, but I started building smart circuits, and I loved electrical engineering and building things that moved. So I knew I wanted to do robotics at that point during my IT in 300 level. So I was going to do mechatronics engineering or robotics engineering. So I applied for robotics, found best robotics schools in the US, and I'm in one of them.
Okay, that's good. Anyway, I forgot to say congratulations on your visa. That was
Thank you.
Yeah.
Even though it was a year ago.
So guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. And if you have any questions, you have any concern, leave it in the comment section. And his social media handles, is that what they call it, will be on the screen. He has a YouTube channel, he has an Instagram page, so you can go follow him and check him out. And yeah, I hope you do enjoy today's video. Don't forget to give us a like, a comment, and all that good stuff. Thank you, Anselm, for joining. So tell them what to do, guys. Tell them what to do.
You guys should subscribe to the channel, like the video, share to friends. Aladi has been doing she has been doing too much for Africans. She has been doing a lot for Africans. So thank you again for having me, Aladi. Thank you. And you guys should also check out my Instagram and my YouTube channel. Thanks again for having me.
Yeah, and there is a part 2 coming up where he's going to share more about his journey to the US and all that stuff. So I'll say stay tuned, stay glued, and don't forget to tune in.